Hi, it's Schumann, the Master for Living Coach here. Today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite topics, and this is why our life circumstances do not matter as much as we think when it comes to our happiness and the way we feel about our life. When people seek out a coach, it often is because they want to change their life circumstances, and coaching is indeed a great tool to do this. But at the same time, there is some deeper work to do that creates even better and lasting results. Let me tell you what this is. There have been studies into the factors that determine how happy we are, how satisfied we are with our lives. And of course, they looked at the life circumstances because it's such an obvious factor. So let me tell you what the study came up with. Let me first write this down. Life circumstances. Have a guess, in a percentage, how much of your happiness do you think is influenced by your life circumstances? When I heard the answer for the first time, I was really surprised because it's quite low. It is only 10%. But when you think about it, it does actually make sense, and I will explain this later. But first, let's look at the other 90%. 50% is determined by your genetic set point. What does this mean? Well, it means that we all have a genetic predisposition that determines how easy or difficult it is for us to live a happy life. It's a little bit like when you go to the gym. There's lots you can do to change your physicality, but depending on your genetic set point, there are limits to what you can achieve. You only have a spectrum to play with. And it's similar with happiness. So what are the other 40%? Well, this is where the real magic of coaching happens, because this is what we can influence. It's our thoughts and our actions. And actually, because you can influence your life circumstances as well, it means that 50% of your happiness you can influence. So why are thoughts and actions so important? Well, let's start with the thoughts. The reason why thoughts are so important for our happiness is that our emotions are not a response to what happens to us. It's not a response to our life circumstances. Our emotions are a response to what we think about our life circumstances. We create stories around what happens to us, and our emotions are then a response to this. And this explains why there are some incredibly wealthy people who are still depressed and some very poor people who can still be happy. Let me give you another example. I used to manage a team of lawyers at one of the UK retail banks. And at one point, the entire team, including me, were made redundant. Well, people in my team reacted to this very differently. Some had a very positive attitude. They acknowledged that redundancies are a frequent feature of corporate life, and that's just it. And they looked at how they could create something positive out of it. One of my reports was a woman who was about to become a mother, and she thought, well, actually, this is a really good opportunity for me to think what I really want to do career-wise and my new life as a mother. Another team member thought, well, actually, I've been wanting to get new experience and learn new skills in another company for a while, so this is a good opportunity for me to make this move. But there was one team member who took it very badly. He was quite angry, resentful, and actually quite depressed. I tried to coach him into taking a different approach to the situation. But he told me, you know, Hans, there's nothing I can change about the way I feel. I cannot control my emotions. And he was quite firm about this. But here's the thing, I think he was wrong. Yes, we cannot always control the emotions that are coming up, but we can manage them and we can switch to a different emotion. And why do I believe this is? I believe this because our emotions are a response to the thoughts that we have. If we change our thoughts, if we change the story that we are telling ourselves, we can also change the emotions, the way we feel about any given situation. That's why thoughts are so important. And what are those actions that are also important in determining our happiness? Well, the study that came up with this data gave us an example, the following actions that help us becoming more happy. Maintaining healthy social interactions, exercising, meditating, and practicing gratitude. And these are indeed actions that come up in coaching conversations very often, and I recommend my clients to incorporate them in a daily routine. If we become aware of the thoughts and actions that determine our happiness, it gives us opportunities to cultivate new ways of being that make us more satisfied with our life. This is the kind of work I feel really passionate about, and I love it when my clients are ready to do this deep work. If this intrigues you, do send me a message. I'm running a workshop right now called Cracking the Code of Who You Are, in which we go through all of this in a group setting. And how about over the next few days, you pay attention to the thoughts that you have, how they create your emotions, and how this impacts on the way in which you deal with your life circumstances. I hope this has been useful. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.